In the city of Filmora, the atmosphere was tranquil, reminiscent of dreams woven during a peaceful slumber. As dawn broke, the world began to stir slowly, yet one unique soul was already awake. Codlad, the Polish cow, had just arrived from his homeland. He stretched his limbs, feeling the morning chill embrace him, and pondered the adventures that lay ahead. His heart raced with excitement, not just for the day, but for the surprises Mr. Arapaho promised to unveil. As the daylight unfolded, Codlad's vibrant spirit started to shine brighter than the sun's first rays. He had shed the weariness of travel, embraced the novelty of being an integral part of this townsfolk. Yesterday's escapades entertained the slumbering villagers, while the echoes of laughter melted into memories that lingered in the cool air. Codlad, by no means a conventional cow, was a champion in darts, sharing this honor with a British man who reveled in the game just as much. They were bound together, both by their playful rivalry and mutual respect as they prepared to conquer new challenges. Just then, Mr. Arapaho appeared, his welcoming smile bringing warmth to the cool morning. "Looks like you're the first one up today," he noted, as Codlad let out a deep, proud moo that rippled through town. "I have something special for you," he continued, eyes twinkling with anticipation. The conversation was punctuated by the arrival of Mr. Turkey, his jovial presence filling the air with the promise of joy. As if orchestrated, a playful shower of minuscule beads began to dance from the sky, reminiscent of grains of sand falling through fingers. Such was the magic of Filmora, where wonders awaited around every corner. With laughter resonating in the air, the group's excitement amplified. As the sun ascended further, the sounds of Scottish small pipes echoed through Filmora, calling everybody to action. Each note delivered a spirited wake-up call, crescendoing into a celebration of friendship and a brand new day. Mr. Arapaho, ready to embrace a new chapter, guided Codlad toward his new home. "Welcome here," he said warmly, and Codlad beamed with delight. Upon entering, he was met with colors and lights dazzling his senses. "That's an interesting color," he remarked, amazed at the blend of cyan illuminating his new abode. The vibrant hues reflected his enthusiasm, marking the beginning of a delightful adventure, filled with camaraderie, games, and the sweet scent of morning grass awaiting him outside. As Codlad stepped into his new home, a feeling of excitement surged within him. The vibrant colors surrounding him painted a beautiful picture, and Mr. Arapaho was eager to unveil the wonders of this special place. "Check out this room," Mr. Arapaho said, his voice brimming with enthusiasm. "This is where you're going to host clubs for the town. Whenever we have festivals, we can use you as our DJ." A warm smile spread across Codlad's face, igniting the spark of creativity in his heart. Knowing he was destined to be the disco Polish cow in this vibrant community, the room thrummed with potential as colors danced across the walls, reflecting the spirit of the town. "What's the idea behind this color?" Codlad inquired, eager to understand the essence of his new environment. "It's a color that resonates in our town," Mr. Arapaho replied, pride evident in his voice. As he pointed towards the skylights that drenched the room in natural light, Codlad learned how the special stained glass shining the splendid bluish-green color called cyan was integrated into the town's school systems, tying everything into a harmonious theme. Codlad was captivated and sought more of Mr. Turkey's wisdom, asking about the minuscule bead trick he had heard whispers of with a twinkle in his eye. Mr. Turkey explained, "They weren't actually true beads. One day, while preparing lessons, I noticed a strange sand-like substance rising through the floor. Upon closer inspection, it revealed itself to be tiny beads. This unexpected gift ignited joy in my students and became an integral part of our celebratory spirit." It was in the very same school, known for its tranquil ambiance, that the legendary minuscule gifts took their origin. With a newfound sense of wonder, Codlad inquired about how the minuscule beads would return to their machine after each festival. "Ah, this is no ordinary machine," Mr. Turkey chuckled. "It magically gathers the beads after the rain, storing them until we conjure them for our next celebration." Codlad's mind whirled with possibilities. The idea of combining a smoke machine with the minuscule beadmaker flashed before him, envisioning a spectacle where the smoke and beads cascaded together, creating a mesmerizing atmosphere. A collective gasp of excitement filled the room as the two friends brainstormed this enchanting merging of festive elements, bound to captivate the hearts of everyone around. As Cod Lad wandered through his new home, the atmosphere was thick with a sense of excitement and tradition. Turkey, always the one to suggest something grand, declared, "Let me go get my Scottish small pipes." This simple statement carried the weight of a vibrant culture, instantly igniting curiosity in Cod Lad. He marveled, "I guess everyone here presents everything, no matter how big or small it is." This realization opened a window into the heart of Filmora, a place where every gesture was imbued with significance and joy. Mr. Arapaho watched Cod Lad with a knowing smile, responding, "That is correct, you're starting to recognize how our tradition works." His words encapsulated a way of life that intertwined Native American customs with hints of Scottish influence. The spirit of celebration echoed through the hills of Scotland, portrayed through the melodies of bagpipes. The essence of their culture was woven into every presentation, whether it be grand or modest, like the Burns supper that Cod Lad had witnessed just the day before. While Mr. Turkey ventured to retrieve his pipes, Mr. Arapaho elaborated on the significance of the Scottish Burns supper. Our city of Filmora combines sincere gestures with the essence of Scotland. Unlike most places in America, we take pride in presenting everything. It reflects the spirit of our community, he explained. Cod Lad listened with rapt attention as Mr. Arapaho spoke of the joyous rituals, revealing that even the decoration of his new home would follow this special custom, starting with the disco lights and the unique minuscule bead machine. Curiosity sparked within Cod Lad as he asked about the bead machine. "How does it work?" he inquired, already lost in the wonder of it all. Mr. Arapaho described it, saying, "It's a big container with a fan at the bottom, blowing beads through tiny holes to rain down on the witnesses below." As he spoke, Cod Lad imagined the colorful cascade, aligning perfectly with their approach to festivities. The anticipation of celebrations to come filled the air with a sense of magic. "Although it sounds like a long process, everything we do here radiates the essence of Scotland," Mr. Arapaho mused cinematically, solidifying Cod Lad's belief that he was indeed part of something remarkably special. Being a cow may limit some experiences, but the desire for adventure knows no bounds, he thought, an entire world of discovery unfolding before him, all embraced by the melodies of Mr. Turkey's bagpipes, hinting at the adventures yet to come. In a whimsical setting, Mr. Arapaho concluded his enthusiastic explanation, the air thick with excitement as Cod Lad, the disco-polished cow, reveled in the promising moments that lay ahead. His heart danced with joy, for the atmosphere was alive with anticipation. A golden ray of hope flickered just beyond the horizon of this delightful day. Suddenly, like a captivating overture, Mr. Turkey made his entrance, proudly brandishing his blown Scottish small pipes. As he took center stage, a wave of thrill washed over Cod Lad, vibrating with eagerness for the festive performance. The joyous spirit of the Scottish Burns supper enveloped him, promising an unforgettable celebration of culture and camaraderie in his new home. Mr. Turkey began to play the rowan tree, each mellow note cascading through the air, wrapping everyone in a warm embrace of nostalgia. The sound of the pipes eased tension, graced the heart with tranquility, and filled Cod Lad with a profound connection to his roots. With every melodious breath, he felt the music carry him across the highlands, kindling a sense of belonging that he had yearned for. As the final notes faded into a serene silence, Mr. Arapaho seized the moment to reveal Cod Lad's desire to learn the bagpipes. Mr. Turkey's smile stretched across his face, illuminating his features with genuine delight, for the prospect of a new learner swelled his heart with pride. A connection forged through music would undoubtedly flourish, just like the vibrant melodies dancing upon the breeze. "Give me a moment while I conjure a practice chanter using Filmora logic," he declared, laughter simmering between the words. Curiosity twinkled in Cod Lad's eyes as he pondered the meaning behind this intriguing phrase. What could it possibly signify? The charm of the city intrigued him. Its name echoed the same sound as the editing software, a playful twist on their shared stories. With shared smiles, Mr. Turkey and Mr. Arapaho revealed the essence of their words. "Filmora comes from a video editing software we cherish," Our city shares that name too. The magical element we conjure is infused with creativity, allowing us to bring dreams to life in an instant, only with logic at the end to avoid confusion. We take pride in this duality and its connection to our magic here. In this enchanting world filled with laughter, music, and creativity, Cod Lad found himself embarking on a thrilling journey, weaving moments of joy as he discovered the beauty of friendship, culture, and the boundless possibilities that awaited him. In the vibrant heart of Fillmora City, an unusual gathering took place. Mr. Arapaho, Mr. Turkey, and Cod Lad found themselves on a quest, drawn together by the vibrant call of creativity and community spirit. Their mission: to find dazzling decorations for Cod Lad's new home, one that promised to transform into a lively disco party, bursting with colors and joyous music. Meanwhile, in a contrasting realm across town, Miss Trunchbull felt an engulfing panic. Her usual confidence wavered as she reached for the phone, hoping to summon support from an old acquaintance. Unbeknownst to her, language barriers loomed large, as all she could muster was a flicker of Spanish. With an unexpected swirl of her wrist, she unlocked the power of Fillmora logic, reclaiming her rulebooks and fortifying her resolve for what was to come. As she dialed, the familiar voice of Miss Honey filled the airwaves, a former ally with warmth and understanding. "What can I do for you, Miss Agatha?" she asked. A smile sparked across Miss Trunchbull's face. "I need you to join me. Let's set some rules in this town. I detest its name." Though the request teetered on the edge of absurdity, there was an air of camaraderie. Miss Honey hesitated for a moment. "Dear Miss Trunchbull, I think these new folks mean well. I will certainly help, but let's keep an open mind." With renewed courage, the two women convened, and with Miss Trunchbull stepping into her splendid Lightning McQueen car, the adventure began. But as fate would have it, the journey wasn't as seamless as imagined. On the border where their neighborhoods intersected, a magical twist revealed itself, as if conjured from thin air. Mr. Arapaho and Mr. Turkey took center stage, playfully tossing objects at Miss Trunchbull's flashy ride to warn her against leaving. Her voice rang out in protest, explaining her intent to bring new members into their vibrant community. Understanding glimmers flickered in the eyes of her unexpected interceptors. With the assurance to embrace new faces, Miss Trunchbull nodded, albeit with a hint of apprehension, as she ventured to pick Miss Honey up. Upon their reunion, a noticeable dent in the car's shiny exterior sparked a new dilemma. "We must fix that," I said Miss Honey, reminiscing about the magic this city cradled. Together they harnessed the town's enchantment and restored the once dented car. They cruised forth on the vibrant streets of Fillmora, excited for the possibilities ahead. As Miss Trunchbull and Miss Honey drove through their quaint neighborhood, a tapestry of familiar houses unfolded before them. Each abode held memories, from the cheerful chirp of Mr. Arapaho's home to the whimsical charm of Melody's place. The sight of tiny beads swirling around an enchanted residence drew curiosity, while Mr. Turkey's elaborate decorations made for a colorful spectacle. Yet, it was at Miss Trunchbull's house that the real adventure began, the engine's hum quieting as she parked with determination. With her eyes sparkling with mischief, Miss Trunchbull turned to Miss Honey, her voice commanding as she instructed, "Get into that Arapaho suit. You will be Mrs. Arapaho today, and hand out these rulebooks." As she handed over the carefully crafted pamphlets in English, Miss Honey felt the weight of the task. "But I'm much more caring than that," she hesitated, sensing the absurdity of the request. "I know," Miss Trunchbull replied, her tone softer yet still assertive. "But do it for me, and I promise to let you lock me in with the community members for a celebration." Miss Honey's resolve melted into a smile, the thought of a lively gathering appealing. "All right, but I'll make bagpipe sounds as I pass out the books," she agreed, her heart racing with a mix of anxiety and excitement. "How do I even make that sound?" she wondered aloud, seeking clarity. Miss Trunchbull chuckled. "Just act like you're playing and make the highest pitch you can." With a determined nod, Miss Honey conjured the enchanting Arapaho suit, its many pockets bulging with rulebooks. The streets of Fillmora town became her stage as she strolled, producing an array of raucous sounds to simulate bagpipes, attracting curious gazes from neighbors. Arapaho couldn't help but laugh, bemused by the sight of this unusual bagpipe-playing figure dispensing gifts. As the afternoon unfolded, Miss Honey approached Mr. Arapaho, gifts in hand. "I've got something for you from Miss Honey," she announced, her smile radiant. Mr. Arapaho, puzzled, unwrapped the package. "What is this, a rule book?" he exclaimed, recognizing the declarations of authority. Why would Miss Honey be doing this? Realization dawned on Mr. Arapaho, a conspiratorial grin crossing his face. "Ah, so she thought she was inviting a new member to our community," he mused. Miss Honey, with a gentle correction, reminded him of her true identity, while Mr. Arapaho pondered the surprise twists of the day, amused by the chaotic blend of duty and ceremony that Miss Trunchbull had initiated. In a lively atmosphere, Miss Honey, garbed in what some might describe as an Arapaho suit, began distributing rule books with great enthusiasm. Her sounds echoed through the air, mimicking the raucous tones of bagpipes, an unexpected and humorous accompaniment to such a serious task. The whimsical imagery of her vibrant demeanor seemed at odds with the gravity of the rules she was handing out, yet the mingling of playfulness and authority created a captivating scene. As the last rulebook found its way into eager hands, a few individuals, intrigued yet perplexed, began to comb through the dense text. Among them was Melody, accompanied by her diminutive friend, who found themselves just as amused by the peculiarities within the regulations. The rules articulated sternly included restrictions against embracing, twirling in merriment, and snuggling together before the night's rest. For the local resident known as Cod Lad, the jovial Polish cow, rules included rather absurd stipulations: no home decorations allowed, and certainly no sleeping in human abodes. The peculiar situation intensified when Mrs. Trunchbull, ever the formidable presence, managed to conjure a Spanish version of the rulebook, seamlessly aided by the wonders of Fillmore logic. The man from northwestern Spain stared in disbelief at the sight of a woman purportedly draped in Arapaho attire, dictating rules in both English and Spanish. As he delved deeper into the pages, his annoyance grew. There lay explicit directives, translated with unwavering clarity: no más la gaita, no más música, unsettling provisions that clashed with the spirit of community. Determined to confront the source of his dissatisfaction, he approached the exuberant figure responsible for the unexpected proclamations. "Excuse me, are you Mrs. Arapaho?" he inquired, his brow furrowing in confusion. Miss Honey, with an approachable grin, replied warmly, "Oh, I'm actually Miss Honey." The puzzled exchange followed, revealing Miss Honey's connection to the community. It was a revelation, sparking curiosity in how she became an unwitting ambassador of such stringent rules. Together, they contemplated a festive solution to Miss Trunchbull's draconian rules. With a shared fervor, the man from northwestern Spain proposed to unveil the essence of celebration through the spirited sounds of his bagpipe, gaita, in Spain. Miss Honey, intrigued, admitted to her familiarity with the instrument, and they discussed their mutual experiences in a world slowly opening up to them. Though she intended to shed her Arapaho garb for the occasion, Miss Honey felt a sense of duty to bridge the gaps in their community, inspired by their shared laughter and levity. In a vibrant town where unity thrived, Miss Honey's quiet resolve began to challenge the oppressive reign of Miss Trunchbull. The community had long suffered under the weight of harsh rulebooks, and whispers of rebellion filled the air. With courage brewing in his heart, the Spanish man understood it was time to reveal the truth and relay it to Mr. Arapaho, igniting a spark of hope against Miss Trunchbull's tyranny. As clouds thickened overhead, an unusual phenomenon turned heads. A bright, thick white cloud swirled in the sky, evoking a sense of mystery akin to smoke swirling from a hidden flame. The gentle fall of sand-like substances began to create momentary mystique in the streets. The Spanish man stood, knowing this was no coincidence, for it was not merely chaos. It was a sign of friendly mischief from their own beloved neighborhood Turkey, a whimsical figure who cherished connections and community spirit amidst adversity. Mr. Arapaho, emerging through the enchanting bead clouds, questioned the Spanish man about the enigmatic rulebooks. The Spanish man revealed that a woman, clothed in Arapaho attire, was distributing these intervals of rebellion. He confirmed her identity as Miss Honey, a member of their community who had remained hidden for too long, yet was fully aware of her orchestrator, Miss Trunchbull. Her relent had come after realizing that if she could set the trap for Miss Trunchbull, the community could reclaim their voice. And so, Mr. Arapaho grinned. She had devised a clever plan to entrap the very tyrant that had stifled them. Together they concocted a playful yet strategic approach to unveil the truth. Mr. Arapaho proposed a bucket of minuscule beads, a whimsical artillery to reignite laughter and unity. The Spanish man gleefully joined in this absurd plan, and their comrade, Mr. Turkey, added a twist of flair to the scheme. He devised an explosion trap, where a simple step by Miss Trunchbull would unleash a cascade of beads, blinding her and forcing her to confront her actions against the community. The mighty rules she imposed, once formidable, would now become her own playful demise, reminding everyone that unity is always stronger than division. In the heart of Filmora City, an unusual gathering took place. Mr. Arapaho, the ever-curious Mr. Turkey, the wise Mimnus, Choctaw, playful Melody and her little Guy, along with the new intriguing members, the British man, Codlad, the Polish cow, and a spirited Spanish man, assembled eagerly. They were drawn together by a sense of curiosity about the intentions of Miss Trunchbull, infamous for her strict rules and intense demeanor. Her presence in the streets sparked a mix of anxiety and excitement in the air. As Miss Trunchbull strolled boldly, she surveyed the scene with a hawk-like intensity, searching for her next victim to assert her authority upon. Just as she thought all was well under her watchful gaze, she accidentally triggered a hidden mechanism. A door sprang open, revealing a shower of minuscule beads cascading down upon her. The beads transported her mind back to sunlit sandy beaches, filling her with a momentary nostalgia. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifted dramatically as the onlookers watched the spectacle unfold. With a new sense of purpose, Miss Trunchbull exclaimed, "Stop, I have something to say." Each pair of eyes turned toward her, intrigued by her strange proclamation amidst the shower of beads. "We will no longer gather unless there are minuscule beads." Her words, both bizarre and captivating, sent ripples of laughter through the crowd. Mr. Arapaho, unable to contain himself, blurted out, "Did Miss Trunchbull just establish a bead-based rule?" Her subsequent announcement transformed the reputation of the Chokey into something vibrant and imaginative, a space filled with gentle bead storms, reflecting light in a riot of colors, reminiscent of Mr. Turkey's engaging lessons. The scene evolved as Mr. Cherokee beamed, basking in the bright possibilities of this newfound innocence. "Let's present this transformation," declared Mr. Arapaho, as the spirit of celebration ignited. With bagpipes leading the way, the mundane shifted towards something extraordinary. Miss Trunchbull, caught in an unexpected moment of joy, reveled in the sight of shimmering minuscule beads. Then, in a twist that left the spectators breathless, they discovered the Chokey was now outfitted with embedded LED lights, radiating vivid hues throughout the space. These lights harmonized beautifully with the colors of the school, creating an enchanting glow of cyan, a blend of calming blue and invigorating green. Miss Trunchbull, immersed in this unexpected brightness, finally let go of her rigid routines, allowing the vibrant energy of transformation to reshape her as well. In this dazzling moment of change, the residents of Filmora City learned that even the strictest rules can evolve into something marvelous, igniting hope and creativity in their community. As the vibrant lights shimmered in the heart of Filmora, the reimagined Chokey became a spectacle of color and energy, adorned with LED lights casting a gentle cyan glow. The atmosphere was electric, with minuscule beads cascading like raindrops from above, creating a mesmerizing effect amidst the laughter and chatter of the crowd. A woman, her lips pursed in discontent, made her way through the throng, feeling the glittering beads land upon her with each step. Suddenly, a voice erupted, filled with indignation. "Whoever is letting these minuscule beads fall, I am going to sue them," she declared, her stance resolute. "Because I am Karen, I get what I want." Nearby, Miss Trunchbull, the formidable figure of the past who used to reign with strict authority, overheard the commotion with a newfound sense of freedom. She smiled knowingly. "I know that way all too well," she replied, her voice steady and commanding. "But look at me now, celebrating alongside everyone. I was once trapped in that rigidity as principal at Cruncham Hall, yet here I am, embracing change." The conversation sparked tension as Karen shot back defiantly. "Who are you even talking to?" With confidence and a twinkle in her eye, Miss Trunchbull replied, "I am talking to you, and guess what? We'll celebrate with these beads." Refusal will only land you back in the chokey. The defiance from Karen was palpable. "No, you won't, because I am Karen McCarranson, and I always get my way." The scene shifted as two little girls joined the fray, echoing their mother's sentiments, proudly declaring their entitlement. With a keen eye for authority, Miss Trunchbull declared, "No more entitlement act spoiled, and you'll face the beads. Nearby, Mr." Arapaho chuckled, reminiscing about the girls he had once babysat. "Play the gaita," he called, igniting a sense of community. Encouraged by Miss Trunchbull, the Spanish man picked up his instrument, ready to teach Karen a lesson in humility. Miss Trunchbull conceived a brilliant idea. The infamous Katinsky film, once a tool of demoralization, transformed into a mesmerizing flashlight that flickered brightly and clicked with purpose. It could now radiate colors, symbolizing the joy of the reimagined chokey instead of the despair it once brought. As the Spanish man played, Karen found herself surrounded by a vibrant display, her outrage met with a spectacular shower of beads. Resilience sparked within her as she huddled with her daughters to formulate a plan, declaring they would sue Miss Trunchbull for her newfound ways. Yet, Mr. Arapaho reminded them, "She's doing this for our community's betterment," highlighting the contrast between past and present. Miss Trunchbull's former punishments transformed into delightful pastries, tempting with vibrant sprinkles reminiscent of the beads. "I'm here to share," she smiled, inviting everyone to indulge without fear, emphasizing that this celebration was no longer a punishment. The air was thick with energy and change as the community in Filmora embraced a delightful new chapter filled with laughter, light, and vibrant beads. As night enveloped the city of Filmora, a magical energy pulsated in the air. Miss Trunchbull, known for her strict demeanor, was secretly scheming something miraculous, igniting sparks of curiosity among the townsfolk. Meanwhile, Mr. Arapaho, a true conjurer of wonders, was deep in thought as he reminisced about his childhood when he watched Matilda, picturing the enchanting Crunchum Hall that had once brought him so much joy. With a flick of his hand, he summoned the magic of Filmora logic, ready to transform Miss Trunchbull's quite ordinary home. In an instant, Miss Trunchbull's residence was awash with a dazzling array of lights that danced and shimmered as he tested each bulb, a smile spreading across his face. He approached the porch light, which radiated a bright, almost blinding blue glow that enveloped him in a warm embrace. Testing each light again, he relished in the vibrant hues now illuminating the property. A sense of triumph washed over him as he confidently strolled back. "Can I have everyone over to Miss Trunchbull's home?" he declared with contagious enthusiasm. As the community gathered around, excitement buzzed in the air, and Miss Trunchbull herself joined in, intrigued by this gathering. Mr. Arapaho went on to explain their plan. "We're going to present it the way we know how, like a Scottish burn supper." His words captured the crowd's attention. He detailed how every year this cherished celebration in Scotland was a time for unity and joy. The atmosphere thickened with anticipation as Mr. Turkey prepared to play his bagpipes, their sound reverberating like echoes spilling through the hills and valleys of Scotland. The crowd erupted in applause, electricity in the air as the lights dimmed, setting the stage for a grand reveal. With Mr. Turkey's Scottish small pipes enchanting everyone, Mr. Arapaho waited patiently for the final notes. As the last sound hung in the air, excitement swelled, everyone joined in the countdown. 3, 2, 1. On cue, Mr. Arapaho activated all the lights, including the magnificent blinding blue porch light. A gasp escaped Miss Trunchbull's lips as the transformation unveiled a glorious feast for the eyes, reminiscent of a reimagined Crunchum Hall. Miss Honey stepped forward, her heart full, saying, "This might not be a school, but it's reimagined." Miss Trunchbull acknowledged her, a newfound warmth in her expression. "My new rules say I'll sit under this blinding porch light every night." The crowd erupted in laughter, sealing the enchantment of that magical night. In the heart of Filmora, Miss Trunchbull reveled in the mythical embrace of her new abode. The bright blue porch light captivated her, bathing the surroundings in a mesmerizing glow. It was an enchanting sight, yet as she flicked the switch to turn off the lights, the town outside her window radiated with whispers and laughter, echoing the excitement of the night. With purpose, Miss Trunchbull lit a small flame, reminiscent of a flickering candle. As the tiny blaze grew, it danced warmly, flicking against the darkness until it reached a fuse. Then, in a spectacular twist, it launched into the sky, igniting a vibrant explosion that lit up the town of Filmora. The night became a canvas painted with bright blue sparks, cascading down like tiny gemstones. The ground trembled slightly as the loud boom resounded through the air, awakening the curiosity of the townsfolk. Karen, startled by the eruption of color and sound, hurried outside, her children in tow, seeking out the source of the commotion. Enveloped by a crowd of intrigued neighbors, they found themselves witnesses to this unexpected fireworks display. As Miss Trunchbull flitted back to the blue glow of her porch light, Karen, blinking in the brilliance, shouted, "I can't believe you did that. I'll sue you for blinding me with that light." The chaos prompted laughter from Mr. Arapaho, who mocked the absurdity of her threats, volunteering to babysit her children and even suggesting they visit Miss Trunchbull during his next outing. Amid the laughter and banter, the night took another turn as new characters emerged. A Spanish man, a British star player, and the first-ever darts champion, Cod Lad, joined the revelry. "Someone's having a party over here," Cod Lad announced, breaking the air with his spirited energy. He proposed an impromptu darts game, igniting enthusiasm among the gathering crowd. Although they lacked a dartboard, Mr. Arapaho's grin hinted at the promise of fun yet to come. As Melody cradled her little one, the brilliant blue light showered them in whimsical delight. "Come on, little guy, it's time to head home," she said, leading him away from Miss Trunchbull's enchanting display. That evening ritual filled their quaint space with warmth, until a thrill lingered in the air. Unbeknownst to them, Miss Trunchbull stealthily entered Melody's home, sprinkling minuscule beads on the boy, a playful twist to their already mystifying night. As Melody's little guy slowly drifted into a peaceful slumber, a sudden notification disrupted the quietness of the home. It was from Ms. Choctaw, the charismatic caregiver and cherished friend. Her message lit up the screen, asking if she could soon visit Melody's little guy, stirring a feeling of joy in Melody. A smile spread across her face as she dropped a cheeky smiley and a blue heart emoji in reply, reminiscent of the bright blue lights that once danced in the transformed caramel home of Miss Trunchbull. The anticipation of the weekend loomed in the air, infused with the essence of past vibrant memories. "Quickly, Mrs. Choctaw responded with a celebration emoji and another blue heart, sparkling in Melody's mind, reminiscent of the joyous fireworks display from a delightful night gone by. The excitement bubbled up as Melody expressed that her little guy was eager to reunite with his beloved teacher, Sarah, capturing the bond that was growing between them amidst the blushing dawn stretching over the lovely city of Filmora. Meanwhile, greeted by the bluish-green lights of the school, Melody's little guy wandered down the hallway, the magnificent cyan glow around him sparking an enchanting atmosphere. Suddenly, a rush of energy enveloped him. He was swept up in a warm embrace, twirling around. It was Miss Choctaw, whose enthusiasm radiated happiness. Her words bubbled over, expressing her eagerness for the weekend. The witnessing Mr. Cherokee observed with a twinkle in his eye, acknowledging the special connection forged between them. He admired Mrs. Choctaw's unique ability to nurture the students, noting her beyond-duty efforts that transformed her role into that of a true friend. As the day continued, Melody's little guy approached Sarah's classroom, where minuscule beads began to shower down from the entrance, a fun symbol of the quirky turkey and icon of the community. Once inside, Sarah warmly welcomed him, introducing the theme for the year centered around these mysterious beads. The excitement of learning was palpable, and soon after, a knock echoed through the room. Mr. Cherokee entered with Mrs. Trunchbull, showcasing a new chapter of her life as she presented the lessons of transformation to everyone. The natural light spilling through the ceiling morphed into splendid cyan hues, marking a significant change in everyone's perception. Sarah's astonishment encapsulated the moment, realizing how deeply impactful their stories could be when illuminated in the right light. As the skylight was finally inserted, a vibrant yet soft cyan glow enveloped the room, strikingly reminiscent of cobalt. Sarah felt a wave of surprise wash over her, despite the presence of artificial lights designed by Mr. Cherokee. Lights he planned to replace with those of Mr. Turkey questions swirled in Sarah's mind. How would a skylight enhance the atmosphere? Her pondering was suddenly interrupted as the students, observing the enchanting light above, lifted their gazes in unison, filling the space with an excited silence. This serene quietude was short-lived, abruptly broken by Miss Trunchbull, who entered bearing gifts for Sarah's eager class. Before the students could even touch the gifts, Miss Trunchbull insisted they fetch Mr. Turkey. They scampered, their excitement palpable. Turkey soon waddled into the room, regrettably realizing he had forgotten his Scottish small pipes. He was promptly commanded to present something special, akin to a Scottish burn supper. With a theatrical flourish and a touch of Fillmore magic, the small pipes appeared in his grasp, ready to create a memorable moment as Mr. Turkey skillfully tuned his Scottish small pipes. The notes of the rowan tree filled the air, weaving a rich tapestry of sound that added to the surreal atmosphere. Miss Trunchbull waited patiently, allowing the last notes to linger before unveiling a dazzling gift wrapped in magical paper. The students, their eyes wide with wonder, were captivated by the blue reflections dancing across the walls. "This is very special," Miss Trunchbull proclaimed. Once activated, it will project a bright blue light that can transform the mood of any space. And there's a dial to adjust the brightness. Sarah, brimming with curiosity, led Melody's little guy away from the skylight to test the gift in a darker corner. In the comforting darkness, they flipped the switch, and instantaneously, they were ensnared by an enchanting blue glow. Sarah demonstrated how to manipulate the brightness dial, explaining its purpose and function as the room basked in shimmering hues. Melody's little guy beamed, eager to showcase this treasure to his mom later. Sarah encouraged him to share it with Miss Choctaw over the weekend, igniting a sense of excitement among the students. The allure of the bright blue glow spread throughout the classroom like wildfire. Students flocked to similar corners, each eager to explore their magical gift. Cheers erupted as they discovered the effects of cranking the dial to its maximum. One student exclaimed it resembled Miss Trunchbull's porch light, sending ripples of laughter around the room. With a grin, Miss Trunchbull confessed, "You read my mind. One of these days, I want you to visit my house. It's now a reimagined Cruncham Hall for our new beginning, a surprising change from the strict rules of the past that I once enforced." In the cozy classroom, curiosity danced in the air as students eagerly tested their new lights. With each twist of the dial to the max position, the room filled with the dazzling hues of bright blue. Just then, a sudden sensation swept through the space, as if a magic spell had been cast. Mr. Turkey, the beloved teacher known for his playful antics, sprang into action. He grabbed a bucket and a fan, planting the fan firmly atop the bucket as if it were a magical machine. With a gentle breeze, the fan stirred the minuscule beads scattered about, sending them spiraling through the air like tiny shooting stars, landing softly on each student, including the formidable Miss Trunchbull. Sarah couldn't help but smile at the spectacle unfolding around her. The chaotic synergy of color and beads turned a typical lesson into an unexpected celebration of creativity. Her lesson plans, already ambitious, quickly evolved into a vibrant festival of light and laughter. Meanwhile, Mr. Cherokee ambled into the scene, only to find himself enveloped in the whimsical atmosphere. However, duty called him back to his office, but not before suggesting a bright idea. "I want y'all to enjoy your day. I wish I could feel the same as you all." His voice trailed off, contemplating a way to infuse his dim office space with cheer as Mr. Turkey prepared for the next phase of excitement. He introduced Fillmore logic, unveiling a brilliant light for Mr. Cherokee that mirrored those in the classroom. What a revelation it was, a mounting bracket, a charging cable, and even bright blue illumination to rival the sun itself. Miss Trunchbull, caught up in the moment, exclaimed in surprise, "I forgot those." A realization sparked a wave of inquisitiveness among the students, especially Melody's little guy. Together, they discovered his light also had a Type-C charging port, revealed in the magic of serendipity. With a flurry of energy, Sarah set out to charge Melody's little guy's blue light. She noticed her power box brimming with cables, a wonderland of potential for brightening the classroom. As laughter echoed, other students joined her, connecting their lights, marveling at their shared technology. But how could they create similar brightness while reveling in the fun at that moment? Mr. Cherokee returned. Harnessing the power of Fillmore logic, he transformed Sarah's class with lights like Mr. Turkey's, inviting the delight of 3 switches, red, green, and blue, accompanied by brightness adjustments. Sarah's face lit up with joy as she encouraged the children. "Let's turn the brightness up on the blue switch." That with one flick, the room sparked with intensified color, captivating every eager glance. In the heart of that playful chaos, learning intertwined seamlessly with color and camaraderie. In the cozy classroom, curiosity danced in the air as students eagerly tested their new lights. With each twist of the dial to the max position, the room filled with the dazzling hues of bright blue. Just then, a sudden sensation swept through the space, as if a magic spell had been cast. Mr. Turkey, the beloved teacher known for his playful antics, sprang into action. He grabbed a bucket and a fan, planting the fan firmly atop the bucket as if it were a magical machine. With a gentle breeze, the fan stirred the minuscule beads scattered about, sending them spiraling through the air like tiny shooting stars, landing softly on each student, including the formidable Miss Trunchbull. Sarah couldn't help but smile at the spectacle unfolding around her. The chaotic synergy of color and beads turned a typical lesson into an unexpected celebration of creativity. Her lesson plans, already ambitious, quickly evolved into a vibrant festival of light and laughter. Meanwhile, Mr. Cherokee ambled into the scene, only to find himself enveloped in the whimsical atmosphere. However, duty called him back to his office, but not before suggesting a bright idea. "I want y'all to enjoy your day. I wish I could feel the same as you all." His voice trailed off, contemplating a way to infuse his dim office space with cheer as Mr. Turkey prepared for the next phase of excitement. He introduced Fillmore logic, unveiling a brilliant light for Mr. Cherokee that mirrored those in the classroom. What a revelation it was! A mounting bracket, a charging cable, and even bright blue illumination to rival the sun itself. Miss Trunchbull, caught up in the moment, exclaimed in surprise, "I forgot those." A realization sparked a wave of inquisitiveness among the students, especially Melody's little guy. Together, they discovered his light also had a Type-C charging port, revealed in the magic of serendipity. With a flurry of energy, Sarah set out to charge Melody's little guy's blue light. She noticed her power box brimming with cables, a wonderland of potential for brightening the classroom. As laughter echoed, other students joined her, connecting their lights, marveling at their shared technology. But how could they create similar brightness while reveling in the fun at that moment? Mr. Cherokee returned. Harnessing the power of Fillmore logic, he transformed Sarah's class with lights like Mr. Turkey's, inviting the delight of 3 switches, red, green, and blue, accompanied by brightness adjustments. Sarah's face lit up with joy as she encouraged the children. "Let's turn the brightness up on the blue switch." That with one flick, the room sparked with intensified color, captivating every eager glance. In the heart of that playful chaos, learning intertwined seamlessly with color and camaraderie. As the sun dipped low in the sky, painting the horizon with hues of orange and pink, the students of Fillmore found their way out of the bustling school. The laughter and chatter echoed through the hallways as they departed, leaving behind a day filled with cherished memories. Among them was Melody, anxiously waiting for her little guy to return home, eager to hear about his adventures. The vibrant city felt alive, promising more delightful experiences to share with friends at school tomorrow. Once home, Melody's little guy dashed straight to his room, a burst of energy propelling him forward. He excitedly set up his new light, cranking it to max brightness to showcase it to his mother. As Melody stepped in, the dazzling light flooded the room, almost blinding her for a moment. A wave of warmth washed over her as she realized how proud he was to share this small achievement. Without hesitation, she swept him up in a joyful embrace, spinning him around as they both laughed, with his sparkling excitement illuminating the space like the brightest star in the universe. Their bond shone as brightly as the light, and in that moment of playfulness, the little guy started planning their next adventure. "We should show this to Miss Choctaw," Melody exclaimed, unaware that her son had already been plotting a way to present his newfound treasure. Ideas flowed between them like magic, and soon Melody was imagining how they could use the glowing light during their nighttime rituals. "What if we turned it down a bit? It won't be so blinding like Miss Trunchbull," she suggested, her mind racing with possibilities. As evening wrapped the world in a gentle embrace, they adjusted the brightness, bathing the room in a soothing blue glow that inspired calmness and togetherness. They found solace in that serene atmosphere, indulging in moments that mattered most. "Now you're blue, just like the light," her little guy exclaimed, breaking the calm with laughter that bubbled forth from both of them. Melody could hardly contain her amusement, chuckling at his innocent observation. "Mama Smurf," he declared, leaving her in fits of laughter. Intrigued, she asked him where he had heard about the Smurfs. "It just came to me." He beamed, a mischievous twinkle in his eyes. The playful banter continued, weaving a tapestry of joy, creating memories both would hold dear, all while pondering the whimsical sources of inspiration that filled their lives, wondering how Mr. Turkey or Miss Trunchbull might have sparked such delightful musings. As evening enveloped the cozy home, a gentle glow began to permeate the space, the little guy's light set to a softer blue hue. This enchanting light, a special gift from the transformed figure of Miss Trunchbull, seemed to resonate with the joyous excitement among its inhabitants. Melody, a perfect blend of sweetness and mischief, shared delightful news with her little companion, announcing that Miss Choctaw was coming over with a haggis. Her voice, filled with a bubbling anticipation, painted the atmosphere with happiness, sparking a clever idea in the little guy's mind. With a glimmer of determination in his eye, he devised a sneaky plan to showcase his newfound creativity. Carefully, he set his blue light in the living room window, the glow poised to spill into the night. Without Melody's notice, he turned the brightness dial to maximum, casting a captivating blue light into the outside world. The glow spilled over the surroundings like a cascade of shimmering stars, illuminating the darkened streets, adding an air of whimsy to the evening. As stealthily as a whisper, he snuck back past Melody and crafted a sign that proclaimed, "Little Guy, Crunch Him Hall, home of Melody, aka Melody Trunchbull." With a sly grin, he placed the sign against the window, feeling a thrill of surprise and delight at the thought of Miss Trunchbull's reaction. Indeed, as she ambled by, the bright blue light caught her attention, leading her to smile and chuckle softly, a realization dawning upon her that a copycat was in the making. Moments later, the soft knock of Miss Choctaw at the door pulled Melody's laughter back to the forefront. Her voice rang brightly, captivating just like the light spilling from the window. Inside, she inquired about the luminous spectacle cascading onto the streets, prompting the little guy to proclaim, "Surprise, I'm Melody's little guy, Trunchbull." Laughter erupted from Melody, sending ripples of joy through the room as the spontaneity brought delightful energy. In a whirl of laughter and flying hair, Melody lifted her little guy, spinning him about as memory weaved them back to playful moments with Mr. Turkey. "I don't think my name is Miss Trunchbull, but nice try," she quipped, before gently placing him down. The sign was reclaimed by Miss Choctaw, and together they journeyed into the cozy sanctuary of the little guy's room, restoring the softer blue glow. As Melody dimmed the light, a calm ambience settled in, perfect for the performance to follow. With Miss Choctaw's haggis in tow, the little guy embraced his practice chanter, letting the beautiful notes of the rowan tree waft through the air. The joyous smiles exchanged between Melody and Miss Choctaw spoke volumes of their shared adventure, harmonizing perfectly with the rich tapestry of sound he created. A night filled with laughter, music, and the soft glow now wrapped their home in warmth. As they sat down to enjoy the haggis, the atmosphere shimmered with nostalgia. Melody couldn't help but reflect on the scene earlier. The sign in the window read, "Little Guy, Crunch Him Hall," illuminated by blue lights that spilled onto the streets like a cascading waterfall of dreams. The memory of Miss Choctaw sitting beside her brought warmth. With a smile, Miss Choctaw had wished her a night filled with dreams, her words lingering like a gentle melody in the air. "I look forward to having your little guy this weekend," she had added, and Melody's heart swelled with gratitude. After savoring the haggis, Melody and her little guy stepped into his room, enveloped by the soothing blue glow that filled the space. The familiar nighttime ritual unfolded with gentle movements and soft words, each becoming a thread weaving a tapestry of comfort. This time, however, Melody adjusted the light, deepening its hue to an even richer blue, creating an ethereal ambiance that cradled them in tranquility. As Melody's little guy began to drift into slumber, the room radiated a serene ambiance, one that seemed to whisper dreams into his peaceful mind. Yet outside this cocoon of warmth, chaos brewed. Miss Trunchbull stealthily slipped into the room, her presence shadowy and ominous at first. But in the distance, raised voices punctured the tranquility. A shrill voice mixed with a deep moo echoed, fragments of confrontations blending in a dissonant symphony. It was Karen McCarranson, embroiled in a dispute with Cod Ladd, the dart-throwing bovine champion. "You know that dartboard has feelings," she maintained, her words sharp, while Cod Ladd countered with a jovial moo, intent on perfecting his aim. Amidst this discord, Miss Trunchbull conjured a bucket of minuscule beads, sprinkling them over Melody's little guy. As he slipped deeper into a dream, a vision appeared. A sandbox bathed in bright blue light, each grain glistening like a constellation. The beads, now swirling in his imagination, enveloped him in a world filled with endless possibilities. In the dreamscape, Melody's little guy tossed the beads gently, feeling them transcend reality. The once menacing figure of Miss Trunchbull transformed into an enchanting presence, embodying joy rather than fear. The metamorphosis ignited a sparkle in her eyes as she smiled, witnessing the love radiating from the light around him. Satisfied, she slipped silently out the window, leaving it carefully closed behind her. Melody's little guy nestled deeper into his dreams, enveloped in soft blue hues, peaceful in the knowledge that he was embraced by his mother's love. His world transformed, leaving behind shadows of the past. In the cozy warmth of his room, a little guy surrendered to the soft blue glow, where melodies danced like gentle whispers in the night. Outside, the lively streets of Filmora echoed with raised voices, a stark contrast to his tranquil imagination. Unknown to him, the formidable Miss Trunchbull had already departed, leaving a trail of newfound determination that brewed with exuberance in her absence. Amidst this cacophony, Karen McCarranson stood her ground, facing off against Cod Ladd, the first-ever dark-throwing bovine Polish cow. As Cod Ladd tossed darts, disco mirrors embedded in his hide reflected splashes of color with every bullseye he hit, turning the previous calm into a surreal spectacle. Karen, feeling the pulse of the extraordinary event, called out fervently, "Hey everyone! This cow knows how to hurt a dartboard's feelings." Her laughter punctuated the night air, as if trying to summon the whimsical element that had escaped the darkened streets. Cod Ladd scoffed, his voice deep and resounding like a moo of disbelief. "How delusional can you get? I'm just practicing for the city's tournament." His assertion hung in the air, filled with mock intensity. Karen retaliated, her words like vibrant fireworks. "Oh yeah, a tournament to see who could hurt a dartboard's feelings. Dartboards do not have feelings." Their banter was a playful tug-of-war, a joyous display of eccentricity that echoed through the city. Meanwhile, Mr. Arapaho, awakening to the nighttime commotion, stumbled outside, squinting against the brightness of Miss Trunchbull's illuminating blue porch light. "Hey, we don't take entitlement lightly here in Filmora," he bellowed, casting a firm tone over the playful chaos. Just then, in a flurry of absurdity, Karen found herself enveloped in a splendid glow of cyan, as if the mischievous magic of the city had come to life around her. As she pounded on a suddenly closed door, her voice overflowed with urgency. "Who's going to look after my kids?" But Mr. Arapaho, unyielding, replied, "I'll check on your kids tomorrow. For tonight, accept the wondrous chaos of Filmora." With that, a cascade of minuscule beads, akin to those from the antics of the community's whimsical member, Mr. Turkey, tumbled around her feet, adding to the night's fantastical charm. As melodies carried him away, the little guy drifted deeper into dreams, marking the perfect end to an extraordinary night in Filmora. In the heart of Filmora, a city steeped in its own spirited traditions, the air thickened with the consequences of entitlement. After Karen McCarranson found herself in the chokey, a chilling wake-up call echoed through the streets. Her predicament stirred not just her own fear, but rippled through her daughters, who watched the scene unfold, understanding that the city's laws were not merely suggestions, but an uncompromising mandate. As she was dropped off at Miss Trunchbull's house, the echoes of her decision resonated deeply. Miss Trunchbull, transformed from a figure of oppressive authority to a nurturing guardian, welcomed the girls with open arms. It was almost as if the very essence of Filmora logic had conjured her back into their lives. Comfort wrapped around the girls as they were ushered into a warm sanctuary, a stark contrast to the icy grip of reality just moments before. Though Miss Trunchbull seemed intent on teaching valuable lessons, the shadows of their mother's fate loomed large in the girls' minds. Sleep began to overtake them, wrapping them in a soft blue glow, but dark thoughts lingered, filling their restless dreams with fear of repeating history. Somewhere deep inside, they resolved not to succumb to the same fate. Meanwhile, back within the cozy confines of his home, Melody's little guy drifted into a trance, the night cradling him in warmth despite the chill that haunted the city outside. He surrendered to dreams, filled with fantastical visions where he and Miss Choctaw danced among beams of unseen light. Together they worked tirelessly, turning a dial that could mimic the sun's brilliance, creating a vibrant dreamscape that would defy the shadows lurking outside. Yet even as they played, reality crept in, reminding him that such power lay just beyond his reach. Frustration mingled with innocence, illuminating the harsh truth of dreams as mere reflections of desires yet to be fulfilled. Outside, Filmora slumbered under a blanket of silence and stillness, each resident tucked away from the harshness of the world, wrapped in soft sheets of hopes and fears, awaiting the dawn that promised change. In the depths of the night, the threads of lives entwined, stitched together by moments both fleeting and profound, as the city held its breath, poised for the inevitable transformations that would come at first light.